Hello there. Yes, last night Dailey went on Big Brother's Bit on the Side to set the record straight. He had an exclusive interview with Emma Willis. I thought Emma did brilliantly, but let's get straight. I want to put my point across. I want to set the record straight. There's no record to set straight for Dailey. I'm sorry, there's not. We saw everything in the past few weeks. He instigated this so-called romance with Hazel. She's no angel. She's no Vestal Virgin. Let's be clear about that. But he's the one who instigated it. The first time in the kitchen talking about, well, you know, when you really like someone but you can't say anything. A few weeks later, he then starts writing on her hand with his finger. Basically, all that was I like you. He instigated the whole thing. Right, so he instigated that. Now, what happened in the safe house was outrageous. He talked last night about being woken up. He didn't want to go into her bed. Fair enough. That's fine. I get that. The pillow fight, her nicking his covers. None of that justifies him swearing, threatening her, pinning her down to the bed and having his hands round her throat. It's as simple as that. There is no justifications. It's clear to me, and I'm sure to the whole country who's been watching this, that Dailey needs help. And he needs professional help. And I'm not putting him down, I'm not being horrible. I believe he needs it for his own good and for other people's safety. Now, I'm convinced that Dailey won't get the help he needs. Already last night, Katie, his girlfriend or not his girlfriend, I don't know, was with him to support him. So basically, Katie's going to take him back. And I'm disappointed. I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed because I have experience of this. I see girls, especially young girls, all the time saying, I really want a bad boy. And they stay with guys who treat them badly, dangerous guys, and they find this kind of a life exciting. And it's a mystery to me. I have someone close to me who does exactly the same thing. The difference is she's married with children, so it's even worse. So this really, really frustrates me. Now let's talk about the interview before I pop the top of my head off and all the steam comes out. The interview, he came across humble, shell-shocked and sorry. But that wasn't the truth. Was it, people? Any psychologist will tell you, him having his hat back to front means he's alright. He's just the same as usual. Who did he apologise to? Was he sorry for scaring Hazel? No, he apologised to the female members of the public. Why would he do that? Because he's worried about every single woman he's never met? No. Those women he apologised to will be his bread and butter. We all know people go into Big Brother to become celebs, have a celeb career, to get publicity. He apologised to his future customers. It's as simple as that. He's got the outside package. They're all going to think, isn't he hot? Like all the dumbass females today, they don't talk about a man's personality, what's in a man's heart. They talk about, isn't he hot? You know, all my life I've grown up hearing women saying, oh, men are so skin deep. All they care about is looks. That's not the case, is it, people? It's turned around. It's now the women who are the pervs, and they just focus on the looks. It's very frustrating, especially when you look at me, because I'm not God's gift. I've got no chance because I'm not hot. Anyway, so he was talking to his customers. So, and from what I got from him, he didn't blatantly say, he didn't want to talk about Hazel, and it looks to me that he actually blames Hazel for the whole situation, not just the threatening behaviour, the unacceptable behaviour he used, but the whole romance thing. We all know it wasn't a romance. We all know it was all done for publicity. He kicked it off, and she probably thought, I'll go along for the ride. And if I get kicked out in a week or so, who cares? I'll get all the interviews and everything. And I'm sure that's why he instigated the whole thing. But to me, I mean, initially, I must admit, I thought, oh my God, look, he just looks shell-shocked. He looks so scared and nervous. And maybe that's genuine. But the point is, he's not sorry. He's not sorry for scaring Hazel, is he? Now, I keep on hearing on Big Brother's Bit on the Side, there's two sides to every story. No one's saying it's totally you. Yes, it does take two to tango. But as I've already said, he initiated the whole thing. And when he thought it wasn't working out for him, he tried to back out. He couldn't. I saw him a couple of times trying to keep away from her, and she wouldn't have it. Because by then, she was up for it. But he never blatantly came out and said, look, we're stopping this, keep away from me. He never said that. So we have to look at it in that context. For me, the facts are these. The lad had a girlfriend. He lied and said he didn't have a girlfriend anymore. Outrageous behaviour. And then the disgraceful behaviour in the safe house. And I'm talking directly to Five and Endemol, or whatever they're calling themselves today. After that incident in the safe house, why did you then send Hazel back in that safe room, lock the door, and let her sleep in the same room as him overnight? You could tell she was scared. When after the incident happened and Dailey was called, he goes, did I do anything wrong? She was scared. Of course she's going to say, no, you didn't do anything wrong. She don't want to get throttled again, does she? Of course she's going to say that. That doesn't make her two-faced. The incident when it was announced to the house and she goes, I don't know what's going on. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. She was on the spot there. I get the situation, and she doesn't want the rest of the house to know because she doesn't want it to become an issue. Maybe she's scared she'll get the blame because there's only two people in there. But the problem for the Dailey is it's all filmed. We all know what happened, and that's the situation. So really, my final word on everything Dailey is this. We need to put the thing behind us, let him get on with his life. If that's the kind of guy Katie wants to be with, even though I felt for her last week, even in her interview I actually cried with her, and I exchanged one tweet with her, and it was lovely of her to kind of get back to me. She seems really nice and beautiful girl, kind of girl any man would like to be with and treat like a princess. And as I say, because I'm experienced with this, and I don't want to mention any names, it's very frustrating when fantastic, lovely girls, and I'm not just talking about looks here, end up with guys with mental problems or guys with psychological problems, especially if they won't get help for it. I hope Dailey gets the help he needs. I hope he becomes a better person. And if he becomes that better person, I hope him and Katie live happily ever after. But again, and one final thing to Five and Endemol, I was under, again as I said yesterday, under the impression that before these guys went in, they were psychologically evaluated. And I'm shocked that they didn't see these guys' issues. I mean, you could see him crying in the opening weeks. You could tell there was a problem with this guy. You could tell there was emotional issues there. Maybe that he wasn't going to do what he did, but certainly you could see there was an issue there. And for me, it's certainly changed from Channel 4's day. Channel 4 were on the ball with these situations. And some of you might say, what about the Jason and Victor situation when the girls came back from the safe house? And yes, but as soon as that happened, as soon as it turned nasty, the security were in, it was stopped, and it was blacked out. So you can't, 4 were always on the ball. Yes, they did straddle the line with what was decent and what wasn't, but that's always been what Big Brother's concept from the beginning. So as I say, even though Hazel isn't exactly my ideal person, I think certainly he started off this so-called romance BS, and his actions cannot be defended. So unless he goes and gets help, he's not really a great guy to be around, really, is he? I mean, don't get me wrong, the stuff he was saying was very emotional. I found it emotional. I'm not a perfect guy. I have issues. We all understand having issues and being rejected by the rest of the world. I feel that. I've been rejected all my life. For loads of I'm different, like a lot, not like him, but I understand what it's like to be different and to have people judge you and put you down. And I suppose I'm doing the same thing. But all I'm saying is, if this guy doesn't get the help he needs, then he is a villain. He's not a nice guy, and people should keep away from him. And people should talk about him, because at the end of the day, he wants us. He needs us for his celeb career. That's why he went last night. He wasn't there to put anything right. He wasn't there to go on camera and say, I'm really sorry for what I did to Hazel. I'm sorry if I frightened her. He never did that once. So as far as I'm concerned, Dailey is not sorry, and it's business as usual. And that's disgraceful. Anyone who wants to stick up for him, you can always comment below. I accept all opinions. I'm not Adolf Hitler. You can have opposite opinions to me. But But at the end of the day, originally I thought he was just a guy who had it hard, and I thought, oh yeah, he might win. But slowly, we saw the levels of issues with this guy. And again, I would say to Five and Endemol, you made a clanger, and you dug yourselves deeper and deeper and deeper. And the safe house is a culmination, and it could have turned very nasty. And again, total mystery why you put the girl back in there with him after the incident. Maybe someone from Five or Endemol can comment below as well. Okay, there'll be loads of Big Brother chat. Later on this week, obviously, it'll be eviction. There's 5 up. Normally on a Wednesday, there's a live interruption and someone's saved. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. It wasn't mentioned on last night's Big Brother's bit on the side. So we will talk again. And just for the record, Big Brother's little brother, Big Brother's big mouth, so much better than Big Brother's bit on the side. Don't you think? See ya.